All right, today for Design Studio, we are going to practice doing a simple line drawing that we are going to use to transfer to Illustrator, and then it's going to be printed with the laser engraver, or etched, I think is a better word that I should use instead of printed. So etched using the laser engraver onto your little phone stand keychain. So what you'll get is a piece of paper, just a normal 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12, whatever you have on hand, something plain without lines on it. It can be the back of a piece of paper even. It's okay if it's just a back of a worksheet or something. And you're going to divide it in half. Half of it is going to be our planning and half of it is going to be the final drawing. We want it to sort of fill this space. So for your planning, brainstorm a few things. I would like for you to draw something that makes you feel happy or hopeful. Okay? Simple as that. So for me, things like flowers, ice cream, sunshine. These things make me feel happy and hopeful. And then I'd like for you to sketch a few of them, to do a couple thumbnail sketches. When I say thumbnail sketches, this is your thumbnail. Literally, we're not making it this size, but what we mean is a small, simple sketch. So, if you like sketching and you have your own way of doing that, you may go ahead with that. If instead you like some inspiration, you can find something, look up an image on your phone to get some inspiration. So here I have some ice cream inspiration, and I can just sketch a few different designs. So if I'm sketching the ice cream cone here, I see what I want to do is break it down into lines and shapes that are familiar. So I have these two sort of diagonal lines coming down with a curve connecting them, and a curve here, and a curve here as well, and then another little bump here. I might not have enough room for a tall ice cream. It's going to be a small one, but that's okay. I usually get the kid size anyway, but I do enjoy it. So we've got this bump here, and then this wavy line, and we've got another bump here, and a wavy line, and then it kind of comes to a point and a curve. And I can do, I always get the swirl, not even because I like the swirl of chocolate and vanilla, just because I like how it looks, to be honest with you. Getting to know me very well here, friends. Okay, so there's a simple sketch. Took me less than a minute to sketch this. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just trying to decide, oh, I like how that feels. Maybe I want to sketch this ice cream sandwich over here. I do enjoy an ice cream sandwich. We've got a rounded rectangle here. So we've got these two diagonal lines. These two are parallel to each other, and these two are parallel to each other, and they're just curved on the edges, but we don't have to worry about that right now. And then this bit comes straight down in each of these spaces. These lines are parallel to each other. And then there's the line, this one is parallel to this one is parallel to this one. And I'll just, a little blobby there, but I'm okay with that. And then my little circles that go kind of following those diagonals also. I've got my little ice cream sandwich. I also talked about sunshine. Maybe I want to do that one a little bit more abstractly. So maybe I start with the circle, and then I have some triangles coming out from that. Maybe these ones are kind of bigger. And then maybe I have some littler ones in here. And maybe there's a spiral here or some other kind of pattern inside. Okay. So I've done a couple sketches. From this, I interpret that, I kind of like the ice cream cone most, and I think that it's going to create the most interesting image over here. The image that we're trying to create is going to be a line drawing. So you can draw it first in pencil, but eventually we're going to go over it in Sharpie. The image that we're going to make on our keychain is going to be really, really little, so it needs to be distinct. We don't want to have too many itty bitty little lines. We're not going to be able to have shading. It's just going to be a line drawing. So I want you to think of it, if you can't draw that thing with a marker, then you need to simplify it. And if it's too detailed, even on here, you need to simplify it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the ice cream cone to fill up this space as best I can. I imagine it's half here and half here, so I need to start my cone so that the opening of the cone is about here. So one way I can do that kind of evenly is to create this center line down the middle-ish. And what this is actually a bunch of ellipses or ovals. The bottom of the cone is here. The first bump of the cone is about here. We want that centerpiece here, and then the opening of the cone is here. I don't see this other side of it, but I know it's there, and sometimes drawing it on this sort of an axis will help me to create a much more even looking design. I'm bouncing my eyes back and forth between this and this. It looks a little wonky, but I'm not in crisis mode. I'm just going to make an adjustment. If drawing freaks you out, it's okay to draw something simple. It's also okay to email me with questions or to raise your hand and ask me, Miss Owens, what can I do differently? That's what I'm here for. I don't want this to be, this isn't a drawing course, it's not. But if there are things that I can do to help you feel less overwhelmed by drawing, I do want to help you with that. Okay, so I have my basic cone here. I could go ahead and do some of the lines for the checkered structure. I'll see if I'm going to leave it without right now. I'm just going to put these lines in here. I'm going to decide later if I'll do more of the checkerboard look that we have over there. I think the lines will do me just fine for right now. So I have this yummy blob, the first layer of ice cream. It's a little bit higher on this side. And then I have another little layer blob of ice cream. It sort of slopes down. And then finally we're going to swoop up, and I have room for the best part, that little dollop on top. Curve that down. Alright, if I want to get fancy, I can add some of these lines. I don't want to get too detailed. Like I said, we're keeping it pretty simple because the laser engraver is going to make this pretty tiny, and we're alright with that. Some of you are so excited to finally get to draw something, and those of you who don't need, this guidance, jump right in, go for it. I'm here for you if you do have questions. Final step, once I've got the drawing the way I want it, is to go over in Sharpie. Or if you don't have a Sharpie at home, any darkly colored marker will work fine. If you're here in school with me, you've got Sharpies available. We just want a nice bold line, is all we're really going for. So at the end of this project, you will have learned how to transfer a drawing into Illustrator and then learn how to print that, etch that, excuse me, onto acrylic, which could be an interesting way for you to, option for you to think about for your artwork that's going to go in your frame. Perhaps you're a big fan of drawing and would like to take that drawing and translate it into acrylic. Maybe it's the sort of thing where you do a couple drawings and we think about layering sections of them in acrylic. We can do shading. We're just not trying it on this project specifically, so that is a direction you could go. So just this gives you another tool to be thinking about as a drawing tool. Instead of drawing with a pen, the laser engraver draws with a laser. So that is what you are expected to do, and I can't wait to see what you draw.